Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I got a needle and I have about 2 feet of thread on it, and I am going to add more thread as I go. Okay, so also make sure that the holes of your IrisDuos and your Mini Duo rounds are clear, that you don't have any clogged holes in any of your beads. And everything got a little bit mixed up here on my beading mat, but that's okay. So I'm going to use my first little mini RounDuo Mini as a stop bead. So I'm going to go through that one hole, then I'm going to go through the other hole next to it, and then I'm going to go back up that first hole where I started. Okay, so it is going to be part of our project, and it also is going to serve as my stop bead. So I'm coming out of the hole of my RounDuo Mini, and the way we're going to be working through them is, okay, well, let me show you. Here's the bracelet, and we're going to be going through them like this, down like this on both sides, like that, and then like that. Okay, so they're not going to be with the holes going this way. They're going to be going that way, okay? All right, so I'm coming out of my RounDuo Mini, and I'm going to pick up, and this is just a lot of repetition. And if you want to do this with with 2 needles, you can. I'm just going to do it with 1. So coming out of my RounDuo Mini, pick up 2 11-0s. I'm going to pick up my first IrisDuo, and I'm going to go through this hole like that, and make sure that you're rounded side up, that you're working through these and you have the rounded side up, because that's, unless you want the right side of your bracelet to be with the flat side, but you know, I'm going through them like this with the rounded side up. Coming out of my IrisDuo, goes on 2 more 11-0s. Then I'm going to go back up my RounDuo Mini like this, and then I'm going to come back down my RounDuo Mini. Okay, let me show you what I have. This is what I have. Coming out here, I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to catch those 2 11-0s, and then I'm going to go back through that hole of my IrisDuo, and now I'm coming out here. So now we're going to decorate our IrisDuo here in the middle part of our IrisDuo. So now this is what I mean here. Okay, so on one side, when I'm coming out on one side, I'm going to pick up an 11-0, an 8-0, and an 11-0, and then I'm going to go through the IrisDuo again. When I'm coming out on the other side of my IrisDuo, I'm going to pick up a 15-0, a crystal, and a 15-0, and then I'm going to go back through my IrisDuo. Okay, so I'm coming out here. I'm going to go ahead and do the 11-0, 8-0, 11-0, and then I'm going to go down this hole of my IrisDuo, and I'm just holding on to it while I pull. And then when I'm coming out of my IrisDuo here, I'm going to pick up a 15-0, a crystal, and a 15-0. Whoops, a 15-0. Then I'm going to circle around and go back through this hole of my IrisDuo. If you catch your 11-0 when you're coming out, that's fine, because we need to make our way down again to where we can add these beads on this side of our IrisDuo. So I'm going to go through these beads again, which will now be my 8-0, my 11-0, and going through my IrisDuo again. And once I'm coming out of my IrisDuo, I'm going to pick up these beads again, okay? I'm going to pick up an 11-0, an IrisDuo Mini, and then I'm also going, well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to pick up two 11-0s, an IrisDuo Mini, two 11-0s, and then I'm going to go through another IrisDuo, and I'm going to go through this hole of my IrisDuo. Whoops. Then when I'm coming out of my IrisDuo, I'm going to pick up two 11-0s, and then I'm going to go back through this IrisDuo Mini like that. Let me just pull everything so you can see what I have. And I just want to make sure that everything is okay. And then when I'm coming out of this mini duo, RounDuo Mini, I'm going to pick up two more 11-0s. And then I'm going to finish this one off by going through this hole here and coming out of my IrisDuo. So this is what I have. So I finished this little unit up, and I'm coming out here of my IrisDuo. I'm just going to sew down until I'm coming out of these 11-0s, and then I'm going to go through my IrisDuo, and then I'm going to pick up all these beads again for my next IrisDuo.
Beaders, this is the deal you've been waiting for. The PotomacBeads treasure box is packed with one of the finest assortments of high-quality beads, including seed beads, super duos, check glass, melon beads, and crystal cubes. Right now, when you subscribe to the quarterly treasure box, you'll only pay for 2 months and get the third month absolutely free. That's over $300 worth of beads for just $70, a massive savings of more than $230 off retail prices. Quantities are limited, so subscribe now before this quarterly offer ends. Your stash and your creative projects will thank you. Together, we create.
Okay, so here I am coming out of my IrisDuo, and I'm ready to do this again. So basically what you're doing is you're just decorating the outside of your IrisDuo, and I know it looks kind of funky, but once we finish and then we reinforce it, it's going to make everything look pretty. Everything's going to sit nicely around your IrisDuo like that. So the only thing you need to remember is to make sure you're picking up your IrisDuos and that they all match. You're picking them up the same side. So I'm coming out here. I'm going to do, I have my 8-0 here, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to pick up the 11-0, the 8-0, and all my 8-0s got, everything got kind of mixed up there. And another 11-0. I'm going to go through my IrisDuo. And then now I'm going to decorate the other side of my IrisDuo with a 15-0, a bicone, and a 15-0. I'm going to go circle around and go back through that hole again. And then I'm going to just turning it around through those 3 beads that I just added, which is the 11-0, 8-0, and 11-0. And then I'm going to go through this IrisDuo, the hole here again. So here's where I'm going to pick up two more 11-0s, another RounDuo Mini, 2 more 11-0s, and then my next IrisDuo. And then I'm going to go through my IrisDuo. And then I'm going, whoops, I seem to have lost my IrisDuo. Okay. Through my IrisDuo. And then now I'm going to pick up 2 more 11-0s. And then I'm going to go through my RounDuo Mini like this. My hand's in the way, but I'm just pulling my thread. And so from here, I'm going to finish out this one by picking up 2 more 11-0s and then going through my IrisDuo. And then from here, I'm going to just sew down until I make my way to my next IrisDuo. And I'm going to do all this again. I'm going to add the other beads that go around my IrisDuo. So continue doing that until you have the length you need. And for me, I'm going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 until I have 11 IrisDuos. I will meet you back as soon as I'm done. Okay, so I have the amount of IrisDuos that I need for me. And when I finish my last one, I just finished it once I came out of my IrisDuo here, I added the 2 11-0s and then the RounDuo Mini, and then I just went back through the other hole, added my 2 11-0s instead of going on adding the IrisDuo and so forth. I just added these two and then came back out, so here I'm done. So from here, now I'm going to add 3 more 11-0s and then my next RounDuo Mini. So once I'm coming out of my RounDuo Mini, and just want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Okay, once I'm coming out of my RounDuo Mini, I'm going to continue. So 3 11-0s, RounDuo Mini. All right, now I'm gonna do 2 11-0s, my IrisDuo, and then my two 11-0s, and then I'm going to connect back to this RounDuo Mini, that other hole. Okay, I'm just going to hold everything and pull. And I have to hold everything in my hand so I can pull tight. All right. And I'm just going to hop back down to this other hole of my RounDuo Mini. And now I'm gonna go through those 2 11-0s. And I'm going to go through my IrisDuo. And I'm ready to decorate the sides of my IrisDuo again. Only this time, we're going to connect this IrisDuo with this one. So now on this side, I'm going to do the same thing I was doing on this one, which is do 11-0, 8-0, 11-0. Go through my IrisDuo. And now I'm going to pick up a 15-0. And then I'm going to catch this bicone because we're going to share it. And then we're going to pick up another 15-0 after we connect with that bicone. 15-0. And then I'm going, whoops, I dropped it. Okay. 15-0. And then I'm going to go through this hole here, just like how we did in our first step. And I'm just going to pull. And I want to make sure that there's no thread caught anywhere. Okay. And now I'm going to go through these 3 beads like before, and then I'm just going to continue doing this part of my bracelet, this second little strand. Okay, so I have to go through these 3 beads that I just added. All right. Okay. And I'm going to go through this 11-0, this 8-0, and then I'm going to go back through my IrisDuo. And then when I'm coming out, I'm going to add my next beads the way I did here on this step, which would be 2 11-0s, RounDuo Mini, 2 11-0s, my next IrisDuo, and this one's kind of weird, my next IrisDuo. And then my 2 11-0s to connect and finish off this little unit here. Okay, so I'm going to go through this RounDuo Mini. I'm just going to hold all this and pull. And now I'm going to add my 2 11-0s. And then I'm going to connect to this IrisDuo, come out, and then I'm going to finish. So keep doing this side of your bracelet, and then I will show you what we do next. Okay, I'm at the end of my second strand, and let me just show you really quick and get all this thread out of the way. I'm coming out here, my IrisDuo. I have my, I'm just gonna finish. I'm gonna do this part like I did here, Coming out of my IrisDuo, I added my 2 11-0s, my RounDuo Mini, followed by 2 11-0s. Whoops, okay, I'm sorry, I don't need those 2 11-0s. Hold on, let me take out these 2 11-0s. It should just be 2 11-0s, your RounDuo Mini, then you have to go down, I'm sorry, I messed up earlier, but got my seed beads, my RounDuo Mini, coming out of it, and now I have to go down the other side of my RounDuo Mini. And then I add my 2 11-0s. I go back into my IrisDuo to finish this part off. Okay. And make sure you don't catch on to your 15-0 when you're coming out of your IrisDuo. Ooh, don't want to tangle. I broke my own rule. I put too much thread on my needle. Okay, so here we go. I finished that side off. Now I'm going to sew up these 2 11-0s, and I'm going to come out of my RounDuo Mini. And now I'm going to connect to the other RounDuo Mini of my other strand, just like how I did here by adding 3 11-0s. So I'm going to go from here to here, the inner holes. I'm coming out of the inner hole, and I'm going to go into the inner hole here on this one. So I'm going to do 1 2 3, and then go into this RounDuo Mini. Now you can leave this like that and then just add jump rings. Just add a jump ring in here and then connect your clasp. I am going to make a loop. So I'm coming out of my RounDuo Mini here. I'm going to go back up through this hole. And then I'm not going to add any more beads. I'm just going to go in through these beads here. I'm going to come out of the middle 11-0, and I'm just going to make a little loop with seed beads. You can also add a wire guard, but I'm going to do seed beads. And I'm going to add 5 of them. 1 2 3 4 and 5. And I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to reinforce it. And that is going to be for my jump ring. So I'm just going through all these beads again, and I'm going to reinforce. And then once I do this, I'm going to sew back down my bracelet. I'm going to reinforce by adding, I'm not going to add anything. I'm just going to connect all of these seed beads together, because you know how we were sewing in and out of our IrisDuo and we weren't connecting like these 11-0s to this grouping of 15-0, 8-0, 15-0, and then we added more 11 rows here. Those are not connected. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce everything by connecting everything together. So now there will be a thread connecting all these beads, okay? And of course, when I get to the IrisDuo, I'm just gonna go through the RounDuo Mini. I'm just gonna go through it and go into my next one and continue sewing everything together. Then I'm going to come out of this RounDuo Mini, go down this hole, and then again, sew everything here together, connecting everything together. And then I'm gonna come back down this strand and back down that strand. So I'm gonna go ahead and reinforce, and then once I'm done, I will show you my finished piece. Okay, so this is my finished bracelet. I've already added the clasps, but I think I'm going to switch this one out. It's silver, but it doesn't quite look like this one. I've had this for many years, so that could be why. But here's another one that I made where I added a toggle. So I'm probably gonna add a toggle to this one too. So, but this is what I have. I did reinforce on the outside. Like I said, I just ran my needle through everything on the outside, and then I went and I went through everything on here on the outside on this side too. And then I went through my RounDuo Mini and I reinforced the inside also. Now all you're doing is just running your needle through everything, and that's all you're doing. You're not adding anything. It was just simple reinforcing. So once you do that, you get a very pretty polished and finished piece. I really like this. This is how it looks on. I think it looks adorable. And I'm probably too close. Okay. And here's the other one that I made. So I do like how this looks, the gold with the aluminum silver colored RounDuo Minis. So I think that looks pretty. Here's another one that I did. I added Monties in the middle here. These little open spaces, that's where I added the Monties. It's cute, but I think I like it better without the Monties. But, you know, just another option. Also, you don't need to use crystals. For the middle here, you can continue using 8/0 seed beads. You can use 2mm round crystals. You can even just probably also like fire polish beads or anything round. So this is what I have. It's a pretty simple bracelet to make, and it doesn't take that much time to make it. And like I said, I do suggest reinforcing it at the very end once you've completed the second strand. So anyway, I hope you enjoy making this, and thank you very much for watching.